Welcome to the first match of round 5 losers bracket. We have Snerp Haven in the bottom left corner of the map with Motiva on Ares, Toko on Hydros and Jonar on Grath. Against Placeholder in the top right corner of the map we have Etano Circus on Alder, Aziniu on Ares and Kinaster on Vela. Let's take a look at their composition here. We see Toko going for a Shadow and a Sentinel, Jonar for a Warp Drone and an Engineer, while Motiva is going to go for a Sentinel. And on Team Placeholder side we see 3 Warp Drones here. We see Kinaster with a Purifier and 1 Sentinel from Etano. Etano is going to be the one that has to put this Sentinel out in order to counter this Shadow. Let's just go into this game. The loser of this match is going to be eliminated from the tournament, so those teams are now playing for their tournament lives. And we see Jonar and Motiva going up here. Again, Snerp Haven is not really all that aggressive in the beginning of the game, and neither is Placeholder, so I don't think that we are going to see much craziness during this start of the match. It doesn't really pay off all the time to be that aggressive, and sometimes you can actually lose more than you can gain. At best, you are going to deny 1 creep from the enemy team and lose maybe 1 or 2 units. And we see Etano right now going for this fast Bramblethorn rush, Zinyu going for his Sand Stingers, while Kinaster is still building Raptors. Toko, I believe he's going to go for tech level 2, there it is. Jonar going for Bramblethorns, while Motiva is still building Sand Stingers. We have seen Motiva in the past go for fast Apocalypse, and this might actually be what he is going for at this point. But on the other hand, we see Zinyu, he seemed to love his Sandstinger heavy composition, and this time around he's getting tech level 2 fairly early on for him. And 1 more minute and a half until the first Titan. Both teams at this point want to get as many Bioshards as possible from those critters, and let's see if Kinaster is going to be able to deny that camp, and it looks like it. Nicely done there by Kinaster and Zinyu. Unfortunately for them, Motiva and Jonar are uncontested in the bottom right, and they are actually going to go for this tower. I don't think there is something that can stop them at this point. This tower is most definitely going to go down. A nice pick-off there for Snerp Haven. Etano manages to stun this seed bot there, but it is going to be difficult to kill that Terrapin Trooper, I'm sorry. And Etano is now getting his first Bramblethorn, Zinyu going for Sand Stingers, Jonar with 2 Bramblethorns queued up, Toko for tech level 3, and Kinaster going for his Zephyr. 30 seconds until the first Titan fight, and at this point both critter camps have been depleted, and those teams are just going to want to heal and then prepare in the middle there to be ready for the first Titan. Toko is already here hiding in those bushes, trying to ambush somebody. It looks like Jonar is going to come up as well. His first Bramblethorn is up and running. Nice timings there from Jonar. And we see Etano actually has his Bramblethorn up as well, and he managed to see Toko in the bushes, so his ambush is going to be pretty much over at this point. Zinyu is doing some heavy work on that Titan with his Sand Stingers, but it looks like it is pretty much going to be even at this point with the DPS. Both Bramblethorns are doing some work on their Titan, but honestly I think that Snerp Haven is going to have the edge here, and down it goes. Even though that Titan is a little bit low on health, I don't think is going to be able to get 1 single tower from that. Zinyu actually anticipates that they are going to split push and is already down here to defend this location. This tower is definitely going to go down. Titan has been slain a long time ago, and that Bramblethorn was rooted there for a second, but Zinyu has to be really careful with those Sand Stingers. If that Bramblethorn is able to get only 1 attack into those Sand Stingers, about 5 of them are just going to evaporate instantly. 2 more minutes until medium camps. That has been an incredibly fast Titan And overall, Team Snerp Haven was able to get this tower without many losses, so it was nicely done by them. A little bit of a lead. Zinio again, nicely done with his Sandstingers. He is still going to get trapped here, and I believe a few of those Sandstingers are going to go down, while Zinio has only managed to get one Scuttle Guard for his efforts. Those seed bots are not actually doing anything at this point. Eternal has two Bramblethorns up and running, and I believe this one is going to be ready to warp in as well. Motiva is going for ability power level 1. He has added in one Devilkin. Jonar is going to go for efficient synthesis. Being able to root those Bramblethorns and heal a lot faster is going to be great for him, as well as tech level 3. That is a little bit of a rush, so he wants to take that Trebuchet as fast as possible, while Etano is actually going the more traditional route with attack damage level 1 and slowly transitioning to tech level 3. Zinio again is being caught out of position by those Scuttle Guards, but Toko has to be careful there not to get himself surrounded. Those Scuttle Guards have been very nicely utilized from Toko in order to deal with those Sandstingers, but right now he was rooted for a second. One Scuttle Guard goes down. Motiva is trying to get in there, but those Bramblethorns from Etano can do a lot of work, so they have to be careful, and that Bramblethorn might actually get some Sandstingers there. Looks like both teams are trying to get a lead on one another. At this point, we see that Placeholder has a little bit of an army advantage at this point. Not all that significant. Medium camps have spawned right now, and we see that Etano and Zinio are on the bottom one, while Motiva and Jonar are trying to get this one for their team. Kinastan is still here, and he intends to do some damage there, potentially snipe one of those creeps, but not actually managing to do so. But both teams got one medium camp, and Etano and Zinio, being faster than Snerp Haven, are now going to take down this tower as well. Nicely done by them there. Checking out the income tab, we see that Snerp Haven is in fact a little bit ahead. They have managed to get more creeps than the opposing team, but they still have those two medium camps open. Kinasser is going to take down this one, while Etano is going up for the other one. So I believe that this difference here is pretty much going to equalize in a few moments. Armies are pretty much even at this point, and both teams are just looking for the next Titan fight. We see Motiva getting his first Apocalypse, another one on the way. Jonar getting a third Bramblethorn, and that fast Trebuchet only now with attack damage. A little bit of a tech switch there. That build I haven't seen done in this tournament so far. And Toko, let's check what he has. He's rolling around with two Ice Frogs, one Aquadillo, and one Scuttle Guard. So overall, nice army there from him. He might want to get at least one more Aquadillo. Kinaster is going for tech level 3. Zinio getting a Warp Drone and attack damage level 1. That is an early Warp Drone. At this point, Etano is doing the same with another Warp Drone. Kinasar does not have one, so he will either have to walk all the way to the enemy's base in order to backdoor them, or he is going to stay behind to defend. We have seen him do both things in the past. And it looks like that Trebuchet is doing some damage for Snerp Haven. They have rushed tech level 3 for that Trebuchet. Jornar did, and it is going to pay off right now. And we see that again Snerp Haven are going to win this Titan fight, and careful there, nicely done by Zinio, is able to back away in time. And let's see what Snerp Haven wants to do with this. Again, it looks like they want to split push. Toko and the rest of his team are going to go for this tower, while the Titan is going straight for the Warp Spire there. Interesting stuff there here. Jonar and Toko, along with Motiva, are going to take down this Warp Spire, and most probably the healing generator as well. Titan is now taken down, not able to destroy this Warp Spire there, and Snerp Haven is just going to retreat at this point. Let's see what Placeholder is going to do For resources, we see that because Zinyu is going this heavy Sandstinger style, they are falling behind in army, at least in terms of bioshards. Upgrades are pretty much even at this point. Income is in favor of Snerp Haven by 1,000 at this point. 1,000 bioshards in favor of Snerp Haven, and that is going to matter quite a little bit. Etano is trying to farm with his Bramblethorns, and he's doing a pretty good job at it. We see that we have one warp drone up already. That is Zenu's warp drone, and it is going to go around, most likely stop around here. While Etano, I believe there is his warp drone, so we'll see if he wants to go the same way, and yep, it looks like it at this point. Kinasar is getting his own warp drone, so it looks like all three members of Placeholder are looking for a potential back door here, and I don't think that they are going to see this warp drone, Snerp Haven that is, and I think that it has slipped by unnoticed. Careful with this one, however. It is going to be fairly close, but they are going to redirect them just in time. Nicely done there. Jonar in the meantime is going for a Baton Horn, physical resistance level 1 and attack damage level 2. Motiva going for ability power level 2, while Toko is getting upgrades and has high volt queued up as well, but only 2 production slots for Toko at this point of the game. It is a little bit low. Kinasta does not have his warp drone up and running, and as you can see, those warp drones are actually a little bit slow, so it is going to take a long time to go all the way to these to the enemy archive before the first Titan. Checking out what Motiva is doing, he has a nice army composition, a little bit heavy with those Sandstingers, but I believe that he just does not want to throw them away in order to get more supply right now. He is not supply maxed at this point. Kinasar got his warp drone and is going to go on their way. Let's see, this is going to be an interesting end of this match right here. We see Tano going for unstoppable force. That Baton Horn is going to be effective at pushing Snerp Haven away from them while they DPS the archive. Zinio still with those Sandstingers. He is almost maxed right now. And the warp drone is still making its way all the way up there. Both teams are now trying to get in here on the Titan. At least that is what they should do. But instead, as we can see, hard camps have spawned. It is extremely early, minute 12. I don't see any backdooring done at this time, but this could be a potential timing while they are busy here with those hard camps. Etano is already warped in their base right here, and we see an ancient ice frog actually that was around is going to delay this damage from coming into the archive. Kinastar has to be careful there with his army not to go in there because it is just going to vanish off due to this damage. And Team Placeholder is trying to make this happen, but unfortunately it looks like their whole army is gone at this point. Checking supply right here, it is pretty much over right now. We only see 13 energy left for a Placeholder, while Snerp Haven has a lot of army present. They have not lost pretty much anything right now. Those warp drones are still there, but there is nothing left to teleport right now. They might try to go for it again. As we can see, they are rebuilding cheap units at this point to try and go for another back door. And we can see that Snerp Haven has won this Titan fight, and that Titan is pretty much full health. It is only now starting to degen. Zinyu is going around this army with 4 Sandstingers. Those are not going to be enough to take down the enemy's archive, and Snerp Haven is charging down here, going straight for Placeholder's archive. It looks like they managed to teleport down here, and they are going to go for this archive, but it is fully on health, and it looks like Snerp Haven is going to win this match. Placeholder is going to be eliminated from the tournament, while Snerp Haven is going to advance.